Hello and welcome back to another episode of X-Wing Miniatures Theorycrafting, and I am your host, Genghis John. Last time we looked at Lando Calrissian for the Rebel Alliance, now scooting over to the Galactic Empire and discussing not one, but the 4 Imperial pilots of Inferno Squad. Usually when you see the Empire flown, you get dodgy, powerful aces or sheer numbers with 7 to 8 ship swarms, but the Inferno gang offers some of the few synergistic opportunities for the faction. Each pilot's ability is fairly straightforward, and there really aren't that many upgrades that deserve serious consideration, but in their optimal build, the Infernos demand a lot of respect from your opponent, starting with Sane Marana, who really allows the rest of the squad to function. Her ability reads, while you perform an attack, you may spend 1 crit result. If you do, deal 1 face-down damage card to the defender, then cancel your remaining results. A ship throwing only 2 attack dice isn't likely to do damage, especially against a high agility ship, so to be able to guarantee 1 damage gets through under shields, no less, when you roll a crit is strong. The only EPT that is worth putting on Sane is marksmanship, as it helps her get a crit result when attacking in her bullseye. Now, her ability by itself might not seem all that great, but it is the way the rest of the Infernos synergize with her ability that makes her arguably the most important one in the squad. So next we have Gideon Hask, who reads, while you perform an attack against a damaged defender, roll 1 additional attack die. So already we see how Sane's ability works with her squad mates. She deals a damage card and her buddy gets a boost to his attack. Third, we have Miko, who hands out a nice defensive boost with his ability. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends against a damaged attacker, the defender may reroll 1 defense dice. Sane punches through a damage card and everyone gets a reroll to help with finicky green dice. Del's ability is nice because it helps everyone in close proximity, himself included, kind of like a defensive Howl Runner. And then last we have the Inferno leader, Versio. Comes in a little bit more expensive, 41 points compared to the others' 30 points cost, but a great ability which reads, before a friendly TIE fighter at range 0 to 1 would suffer 1 or more damage, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, prevent that damage. So while limited to range 0 to 1 and TIE fighters only, she is the Tel Trevera of the Empire, allowing a TIE pilot to effectively come back from the dead. The beautiful thing about her ability is that it works anytime a TIE would suffer damage, and it cancels all damage. So whether the damage is coming from a bomb, going over an obstacle, resolving a crit, or an attack, Eden can just stop it. Oh, you rolled 4 crits and I 4 blanks. Didn't happen. TIEs can pop so easily, so to be able to extend the life of a crucial member of this squad is huge. You'll notice that the 3 Infernos who aren't Sane all have Crackshot equipped. Of course, that is not available in Hyperspace format, but with these 4 together, you're already at 131 points. And not only are good Imperial aces expensive, but you also want a decent bid to go into battle with. Crackshot is just too good at 1 point and makes a TIE's naturally weak attack at only 2 dice more potent. Before we get into buddies for Inferno Squad to escort on the mat, it is important to know the optimal formation for these ships and which obstacles you should pick. You should have no qualms about taking gas clouds for your obstacles. There is no risk of taking damage by going through an obstacle, and the risk of a strain token is mitigated by the rerolls Miko offers and Eden's ability to negate a killing blow. Though I would maybe not take the bacon cloud, it is a bit wider, making it harder for you to squeeze your formation through or get around it. So I would advocate for choosing the more compacted clouds. The claw, the poop, or one of the three from the Never Tell Me the Odds obstacles pack. The formation you choose to fly Inferno Squadron in is crucial to getting your optimal engagement. As a rule, you want your offense, Sane and Gideon, in front to ensure that they have the best shots, and your defense, Miko and Eden, in the back, making them even less appetizing targets. You can choose to fly a box or a diamond. In a box, you have 2 sets of 2 lined up crack shots for greater likelihood of doing damage. A diamond, you have 2 lined up crack shots in the middle and are a bit wider to avoid getting outflanked. Whether you fly in a box or diamond, you want to be aware of your strong side and your weak side. Your strong side is going to be Sane in front, Del behind, and your non-Inferno squad ship flanking on the outside. Since everything hinges on Sane putting a damage card on your opponent early, you want to give her the best shot in the squad. So line her up on the side your opponent will approach from. You also want Del on that side, so he can give your 5th flanker ship a defensive reroll. On the weak side, not that it is weak necessarily, is Gideon Hask in front, throwing extra red dice, and then Eden hanging out in the far back, using her ability to bail out whoever needs saving. Now let's talk about list building with Inferno Squad as the centerpiece of your list. As far as Hyperspace goes, right now is not ideal for Inferno Squadron because Crackshot and Marksmanship are both unavailable. And this really puts a damper on how effective ties are in general, but even more so for the Infernos. There's also no Howlrunner and pretty limited options for a 5th ship, so frankly I would stay away from the Infernos in Hyperspace, but for the sake of argument, here's something that plays well off of the Inferno's unique ability, notably Sane's. This is Feroff's Inferno, and he's the defensive version of the more popular Reaper pilot, Major Vermeil. While you defend, if the attacker does not have any green tokens, you may change one of your blank or eye results to an evade result. So he basically has a built-in reinforce ability, time to give him some offense and synergy with the Infernos. Director Krennic. Crew upgrade at 5 points is going to make Sane twice as good. We're going to assign Sane the optimized prototype condition, which reads, while you perform a front arc primary attack against a ship locked by a friendly ship with the Director Krennic upgrade, that's Feroff, you may spend 1 hit, crit, or eye result. If you do, choose one. The defender loses 1 shield, or the defender flips one of its face-down damage cards. So when Sane attacks a ship Feroff has locked and rolls, let's say, an eye crit, with Krennic, we spend, or rather with optimized prototype, we spend the eye result to drop a shield, and then the crit to deal a face-down damage card. So Sane does 2 damage, and the defender doesn't roll a single defense dice. Wow. So this means Feroff is taking a target lock as his action every turn, which is fine because he's changing a green ice to an evade every time. So to increase his offensive potential even more, we give him Agent Collis. which assigns hunted after placing forces, allowing Ferof to change one eye result to a hit while attacking. With this combo, Ferof goes into combat with 3 mods, and Sane can do 2 damage before the opposing pilot even blinks. We slap Hull Upgrade on Ferof because it's cheap and to compensate for his 1 agility, and this is really only Inferno Squad build for Hyperspace worth fielding. Hold on, you may say. You can fit Vader with FCS and be at 200 points exactly. While true, I don't think that Inferno plus Ace is actually the best combo. Aces are expensive and you want a sizable bid effectively adding to the cost of an ace. Here, Vader has no bid, and with only FCS, this is a pretty suboptimal build for a TIE Advanced. Soontir is another example of an ace that could fit, but just isn't an optimal wingmate. So you give the Infernos their crack shots and marksmanship, slap Predator on Soontir, and you have a 10-point build left. 10 points is about the smallest bid you'd want for Soontir, and without stealth device or shield upgrade, he's at a high risk of getting caught with his pants down and popping in an instant. Also, aces just don't gain much benefit from the Inferno's abilities, save Del Miko's single defensive reroll, but then you probably don't want to be jousting with TIE fighters if you're a fragile interceptor class fighter. So Inferno in an ace just isn't very good. So why not just make the Inferno part of your build even stronger with support ships? For extended, let's look at another Inferno Reaper combo list, this time Vermeil's Inferno. Major Vermeil reads, while you perform an attack, if the defender does not have any green tokens, you may change one of your blank or eye results to a hit result. This ability to pick on an already exposed target calls for the one and only Darth Vader crew upgrade. A hefty 14 points, but a punishing ability that says at the start of the engagement phase, you may choose one ship in your firing arc at range 0 to 2 and spend 1 force charge. If you do, that ship suffers 1 damage unless it chooses to remove 1 green token. This is a must include given Vermeil's ability, and also strips your chosen target of a defense mod against repetitive fire from the 4 Infernos. We throw Predator on top for even more offensive potency. With a Predator reroll, Vermeil's free hit, and maybe a force token if you saved Vader for the shot, Vermeil takes an evade action every turn to mitigate some of the incoming damage. Vermeil is as much of a threat as the Infernos, and now your opponent has to make a choice on who to shoot first. Pro tip, the correct choice is Vermeil. Our last list is similar in principle, but different in flavor, Sai's Inferno. Lieutenant Sai is an excellent support ship with his pilot ability reading. After you perform a coordinate action, if the ship you chose performed an action on your action bar, you may perform that action. Sai is always going to coordinate a focus action to one of your frontline Infernos, probably Sane, and get a focus token for himself. This frees up an evade action for Sane, or perhaps a barrel roll to get in bullseye. Once we throw ST321 title on Sai, we get 3 actions for the price of 1. After you perform a coordinate action, you may choose an enemy ship at range 0 to 3 of the ship you coordinated. If you do, acquire a lock on that enemy ship, ignoring range restrictions. Sai allows 2 ships to go into battle double modded, and once again, Darth Vader crew is going to strip a mod from a target or deal free damage if they are green tokenless. The function of Vermeil and Psy in these lists is the same. Bring a bigger, double-modded gun and Vader to the party. The way these ships fly, however, is quite different. A TIE Reaper is significantly more maneuverable than a Lambda shuttle with the adaptive ailerons. A Lambda shuttle, while more lumbering and sluggish, offers more support for the Infernos. A Lambda shuttle can be outmaneuvered but has a rear gun, while a Reaper can sloop to look behind him. It comes down to flavor preference between the two of them. With both, you'll need to think about how to maintain formation with the smaller Infernos and avoiding obstacles. That's all the intel I have for you on Inferno Squadron. Remember, synergy is key when list building with them, and give the Infernos a wingmate that can make them even more potent as a unit. Let me know in the comments what you're discovering through your playtesting of these lists. Next time, we will visit the Scum and Villainy faction. Not sure on the pilot yet. Depends on whether or not I can get a guest to join me. Thanks again for watching X-Wing Miniatures Theory Crafting with Genghis John. Like the video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more content from Idea Squadron. Until next time, happy flying, and may the Force be with you.